We're recording this, and Jack, I think you were on the one we did about 3 months ago.
Right.
And we only had about 10 or 12 on that one. But believe it or not, we posted it on YouTube and we had 132 views. Yes. So
Wow.
while there's only a couple of us here, we're going to do the same thing this time. And, we're going to post it. And so many more people are going to see what we're going to be talking about here today. And for Tommy and Brian, when we did this 3 months ago, and this is the second time we've done this, it's really just kind of coffee with clients and friends. And we're just kind of talking about some of the issues that's going on today. We got some things we want to share with y'all, and really just kind of have a discussion as far as what's going on right now. Before I get started, though, I want to do some introductions. So there's Robert Huff. Robert's been with us since October of last year, and Robert's our client concierge, and he's directing this webinar today, and we appreciate him doing that. You might see another Hunt here, Dylan Hunt. This is actually my youngest son. Dylan has just finished his first year at Elon University in Burlington, and he's majoring in business analytics, and he's doing an internship here at the office. So say hello, Dylan.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet y'all.
Hello, way to go, Dylan.
Good meeting you, Dylan.
Now you may notice, and Gordon Mahan, Gordo, as we call him, he's our marketing strategist, and he's based out of Georgia. And so he's helped us quite a bit as far as putting this together. So glad to have you, Gordo. Thanks for being here. Now, you may notice, especially Jack and Tommy, that Megan is not on here. Well, as of this past Friday, Megan has moved on to another position with a local manufacturing firm. They've been talking about inflation being a problem right now, and we're starting to see that in labor. Megan came to us a little over a year ago, and we gave her a 50% increase over what she was making previously. And then a local manufacturing firm came in and gave her a 33% increase over what we were paying her. So it's quite incredible, the demand for high quality employees and what some of these companies are willing to pay. And Brian, you're probably seeing that. Brian, if you would just kind of share with us your position and who you work for and your responsibilities.
Sure. I work for Fuji Silicia Chemical. We're a production facility in Greenville out in the industrial park. We make silica gel, micronized silica gel, which goes into paints, coatings, and plastics as flattening agents. I'm in our Cary office today. This is where our sales office is based. We've got some meetings. We've been in the States. We guess we're a Japanese corporation, but we've been in the States for about 32 years now, producing in Greenville about 22. So small company, about 35 employees in Greenville, but it's very nice to meet you all.
Yep. And what are you seeing, Brian, as far as labor right now?
Boy, we're not seeing a lot of it. It seems to go fast. The last couple of years, I think everybody in Greenville Industrial Park has there was number one problem, just rotation of employees, finding any employees, but particularly good employees who kind of are trying to make a career out of it. There are a few of the larger companies that have gotten some government contracts, and they've paid increasingly high wages. So over the last couple of years, it's been hard to keep good people. We have noticed it calming down a little bit the last probably 3-4 months, and hopefully that's a trend that'll be staying. But I know it's still a major issue for most companies in Greenville.
Yep. And Robert can attest to this. We're pretty generous as far as the benefits we offer. But when somebody comes and makes offers like that, it's just very tough to compete. And we love Megan. We're very sorry to miss her. And even before she moved on, we were looking to hire someone else. And just kind of share with you all, we're looking to hire someone that has experience with business owners or working with businesses. So we've actually spoken on the phone with about 8 to 10 candidates. We're not advertising this. It's really kind of word of mouth. And so we're looking to bring someone in as what we would call an associate wealth manager to assist Robert and myself. So just wish us the best as we go through that process, and we're excited about it. So, Robert, why don't we go ahead and do the first poll here? As far as the summer poll, can you pull that up? Can you pull up the poll?
Yes, absolutely. Let me give, we have 2 attendees. Well, now just Cindy, if you would like to join as a panelist, I'm promoting you now. That way you can respond to these polls. And I will go ahead and launch that first poll now.
All right. Welcome, Cindy. All right. So the first poll is this summer. I am most looking forward to traveling, visiting with grandchildren, working in the yard garden, hiking or kayaking, or nothing. All right. Traveling is winning. Yep. We're done with COVID. Time to get out there. Right? Yep. A lot of pent up demand. So, well, very good. I think that's everyone. So thanks, Robert. All right. See, okay, I need to close that. So just want to again remind you all that we are recording this and we're going to be posting it on our YouTube channel. Robert, is there anything else we need to state before we proceed?
Nope, I think we're good to go.
Okay. Once you put in a request for Cindy as far as unmuting, so we want to hear you, Cindy. Welcome. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
So, well, we want to share a couple things, but one of you sent in a question, and I don't know who sent it in. Maybe it's someone here, or maybe someone that is not on today. But they were asking about fixed rate investments versus the stock market investments during these times. Well, what we've seen here recently, and you've probably seen it, is that a lot of these short-term savings accounts, maybe a money market account or a CD or a treasury bill, they're paying upwards of 4 to 5% right now. And you're like, hey, that's pretty cool. We haven't seen rates like that on short-term securities in quite a while. Okay. And so I know people are kind of thinking to themselves, you know what? After what I've been through with the market for the last, say, 16, 17 months, maybe I should just take my money and put it into a treasury bill or CD at 5% for the next year or two. It's safe, it's secure. And you might say, hey, that's what I would feel comfortable doing that. Well, that's always an option. And I would certainly say this. We always ask our clients, is there any big expenses you expect or know of in the next 2 years? Like you're going to buy a new car and you want to pay cash. You got a house remodel. You got a big trip coming up. You got college. Those funds would be appropriate to put in maybe a 6-month CD or a T-bill. We got T-bills paying 5%. Those are treasury bills guaranteed by the U.S. government. So that's for short-term or intermediate-term savings. Now, should it be appropriate for your long-term savings? Probably not, and here's why. So I started a business back in 1988, and at that time, we were still experiencing very high interest rates. And CDs, believe it or not, CDs were paying about 12%. We had a 10-year, 10% non-callable note. I think it was from Bank One. So think about that, 10% guaranteed for 10 years. But remember, 6-month CDs were paying 12%. I could not get anyone to buy a 10-year, 10% bond because they were getting those CDs at 12%. Well, what happened to those CD rates? They plummeted to less than 5% within a year or two. If they had put that money into a 10-year, 10% bond that was non-callable, that would have been golden. So I would say it can be a sucker bet. Now think about what's happening. the Federal Reserve is raising short-term interest rates in order to slow down the economy and bring down inflation. Well, if the economy eventually slows, then those short-term rates will come down. Right now, we have what we call an inverted yield curve, meaning short-term rates are higher than long-term rates. And that's always a prelude to a slowdown in the economy, perhaps a recession. We'll have to wait and see. But once the economy slows down, those short-term rates will go back to where they are or should be long-term, below the long-term rates. So that's kind of a sucker's bet right now. Now, having said that, if you're looking to lock in a longer-term bond right now, well, maybe perhaps that might be a good investment for the safer part of your portfolio. The other part of the question was, what's the best way to invest profits from a commercial sale? Well, that always goes back to our process. For those of you as clients, you know this, we have you fill out a risk tolerance questionnaire. We ask many questions. We do a retirement projection. We try and determine what type of return you need to have a safe and secure retirement, basically into your 90s. So it's multi-factor. And by doing that, we say it's like a dial. You turn that dial and you want to get the proper asset allocation for your stage in life and your risk tolerance. So that's really a multifaceted question. And so it really depends on, is that long-term money or short-term money? So having said that, whoever asked that question, I hope I answered it well enough for you all. But let me just kind of pause. Are there any questions anyone has right now as far as, hey, what's going on in the economy, the market, and so forth?
I don't have anything in particular.
Let's do the next poll, Robert, about the market.
Okay. Right.
What percentage is the S&P up this year? I ask you, don't Google it, don't cheat. I want you to just say, are you crazy? It's not up, or it's up 0 to 5%, 5 to 10%, or over 10%. Now, year to date. All right. So I'm actually surprised how smart you all are. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm surprised at your answers. I know you're smart. Okay, believe it or not, now 2 of you are correct here. The market year to date, as of yesterday, is up 14.3%. 14.3%. Now, for those of you that guessed 10% or more, did you have any idea it was up 14%, or you just kind of had a feeling it was up more than 10%?
This is Tommy. I knew it was over 10, but I didn't know it was 14.
Yeah. Well, and we don't have a poll on this, but right now, if we kind of look back over the last 18 months, the market really peaked on December 31st of 2021. So January 1st of 2022, a year and a half ago. And from January to October 12th, okay, the market went down, and Robert, you can maybe verify this. I think the market was down at the bottom, maybe 25%. Okay. Now, since October 12th, so we're going back 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, almost 9 months. Since October 12th, the market's up 22.2%. Okay. Now, are we back up to where we were? No. Okay. As you know, if you're down 25%, it takes more than a 25% per turn to get back up to where you were. Okay. But we have seen a recovery here in the last 9 months. Now, the problem is if you listen to the media, what are they focusing on? They're focusing on the Federal Reserve. They're focused on unemployment. They're focused on the interest rates and inflation and the economy. And they've been predicting a recession for about a year now. And we've not had a recession. Now, some economists are predicting maybe later this year or even early next year. The thing is, you know, we can't predict that. And it can't really change what we do as far as our long-term investments. We have to stick to our plan. And I say this sincerely, our clients are wonderful. You that are on this Zoom and everyone that's not on this webinar, our clients have been patient, they've been disciplined, and we know that over time they're going to be rewarded for that. And we thank them. So any questions about what's going on with the market or anything right now? Let me ask this, just a general question. How do you all consume media? You know, what do you do? What do you read? What do you watch? Have you changed your media habits over the last, say, year?
Yeah,
Jack?
I can answer, Dave, just for myself. Mostly my change has been in an effort to keep me from getting upset. So I tend to watch less news on TV now than I used to. I tend to take in most of my news now by reading it. So I really enjoy the Wall Street Journal. You know, there's several other news sources available that I take in, but quite frankly, I've just avoided TV for whatever reason. I seem to be a lot calmer if I just read the news rather than watch all the talking heads and pundits and everything.
Well, you can kind of have more discretion as far as what you read and take in. Do you do the online version of the Wall Street Journal?
I do, yes.
Yeah. And it's not that expensive, Jack. I have it. Is it like 100, 150 bucks a year or something?
Yeah, something like that. I got in on a deal that I'm still on, actually. I think the rates will go up after a year, but yeah, I mean, I think it was even a little bit cheaper than that, Dave. But like I say, it was kind of an introductory type thing. I guess
Yeah.
if you join Apple, there's some level of Apple you can join where you get all the different news media, including the Wall Street, fed to you for, I don't know, some fee. But that I think that also includes some iCloud space and some other things. But
Okay.
yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah. Does anyone subscribe to Apple News? Yeah.
No.
I do like the Wall Street Journal. It's just a little bit more factual. You know, of course they have opinion pieces, but it's more kind of in-depth reporting as opposed to what you might get on some of these news sites. Cindy, if you could unmute yourself, what type of media do you try and take in, and do you kind of limit, or what do you do?
Yeah, I've limited it. I used to watch the news constantly. Now I don't watch the news on TV anymore. I'll listen to the radio and partially as background noise, and then I'll zoom in on something that might interest me. But no, I've cut back radically.
Is your mental health better because of it?
I think so.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It's just, you almost kind of wonder, why am I just like kind of wound up during the day? And you're like, oh yeah, I've been consuming this content that is just, it's high volume, it's very stressful. Tommy, what about you?
Well, I can second basically about what Jack said there. I have reduced my the media on television probably to a third what I used to watch, mostly because of all the politics junk that's going on and that kind of stuff. But I do a lot more reading of different things online, especially than I used to. So the mental aspect of it is probably as much for my wife as it is for me, because when you want to throw a shoe at your TV because of all the junk going on there, so her stress level has gone down because mine has gone down, I'm sure.
It is quality of life.
There you go.
It really is. I mean, you get to a point and you ask yourself, what is life about? It's not about that stuff. And it's stuff you can't control anyway.
Exactly.
It's about family and memories and travel and just enjoying yourself. Brian, anything to add from your point of view?
I just, you kind of get it a little bit of everything. I drive and quite a bit, so I listen to, I have Sirius, so there's several news outside, to mainly CNBC. I get the Wall Street Journal and Barron's, and other than that, just bits and pieces from the internet, nothing too general.
Yep, yep. I think we got a common theme here, and sometimes we'll have clients or people come in and you can just tell they're super agitated, and I really try and, a lot of times we feel like we're a life coach. We want people to have a certain behavior so that they can enjoy life. And even when watching the market day to day, we tell people, just don't worry about it. Don't look at the market. Don't look at your account every day. There's times it's going to go up and there's times it's going to go down. But when we make a plan, it's really a lifetime plan. And and we don't know how long it is. It could be 10 years. It could be 40 years. We don't know, but we're not going to change our plan because of what's happening today. And we have some slides that we share clients, and it just kind of drives home the point that historically the market's going up much more than it's going down, but you just got to weather those periods where it's going down, like we experienced from January to October of last year. So, okay, I want to share a couple things. So, Robert, if you would pull up, we have created some texting numbers. Texting is very popular now. And I know some clients text me on my personal cell phone, which is okay. The problem is any correspondence we have with clients or anyone has to be documented and recorded. Okay. We're under the SEC's umbrella, regulatory umbrella. And so these text numbers, which are different than our cell phones, these text numbers, the conversations are recorded, okay? Meaning we save them, all right? And that way the SEC can review them. And one thing we never do, whether we email or text, is we're not promoting investments to you all. We're not talking about returns. We don't do personal information like Social Security numbers and things like that. But a lot of times clients text us and say, hey, I'm running late for an appointment. I need to move my appointment. Or, hey, can you send me this information? So we would ask that in your phone, you would add these text numbers for Robert and myself. And so anything business related, use these text numbers. And you can actually, when you save it in your phone, and I got an iPhone, I don't know if everyone does, but you can actually code it as, what would you recommend, Robert? Business text or something like that?
Yeah, or even you can just do Dave text and Robert text, because you can add multiple numbers. That way you know who you're texting.
Yep. So if you don't have these numbers, please write them down or take a picture with your phone. We would appreciate that. So thank you. You can take that off, Robert. And so what we want to do is just briefly talk about the meetings that we have with you as our clients. So you can tell we're very thorough. When we sit down with you all, we always have an agenda of topics that we want to cover. And in order for us to cover things in depth and be thorough, we always request documents before the meeting. And so why is this important? Well, you think about it. If you get information to us, we can review the documents, we can scan them, we can input the information into your retirement projection. And so we're able to do it in a way that's more professional. It's pre-done. So when you come into that meeting, we're ready to go. We are ready to go, and we are respecting your time. Now, there's sometimes clients bring the documents with them to the meeting. Okay. And we appreciate them bringing it, but you can imagine we got to review, we got to scan, we got to input, and that's probably taken 20, 25 minutes of the meeting time. So now we're not getting as deep into the issues as we want to. So I'm going to have Robert kind of share our process that we go through for every client meeting. So Robert, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one thing to note is, I guess the first time we touch contact with y'all is 3 weeks out, but before that, there's also a lot that goes into it. Each of our clients, they have a folder here, and in that folder, we have notes of every interaction we have that we keep very detailed notes of. We have your account summary. It has everything from your accounts on it, as far as if you're having drafts in your account, if you're having payments come out, your RMDs, all kinds of detailed information like that. We can review your beneficiaries on your account. And then we have your agenda, and all of this kind of just helps us get that holistic picture. So we'll sit down, we'll review that, we'll look for any gaps before your meeting, and then that's where we'll come up with the forms that we're going to request from you. So literally every time before you come in, it's not just a routine checkup. We're always doing a deep dive on our part just to make sure that we're not missing anything for you. And then after we have seen what documents we need to request from you, we'll send you that email 3 weeks out. And we just ask that you try to get those documents back, hopefully within a week to us. That way we have about a week or two to get everything implemented, update all your accounts. That way, whenever you come in for your meeting, we're all set to go, and we can focus more on your financial planning than the technical planning part that goes into it.
And Robert is very good as far as being persistent, as far as pursuing these documents before the meeting. But like I said, sometimes clients bring the documents in. So we really want to educate people as far as why it's important to get those documents ahead of time. We have secure email in order to send those to us. People are local, they can drop them off. So one way or another, we help walk you through as far as how to get those documents to us. So thank you, Robert. Let's go to the last poll. All right. And I kind of kick myself for creating this one because I think I know the answers already. If I could change one thing about Milestone Wealth, it would be better returns, more frequent contact, more fun events, more value added services. Nothing. They are perfect. We're just trying to have fun. Wait, is my mom on this webinar? Wait, I only have one mom. How come we got two people said we're perfect? Well, you all surprised me. I thought all of you would say better returns. How about that? Well, first of all, I'm glad to see that we're contacting you enough. Or hopefully we are. We try to. One thing is every client we have is on a schedule as far as when we're going to contact them next. You know this, when you have a meeting with us, we've already scheduled your next meeting, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, whatever, it's already scheduled. More fun events. That's a good one. We would like to have more fun events. And I know heck, all three of us, Cindy, Jack, and Tommy, you're all out of town. And I'm thinking to myself, how do we schedule fun events with people that aren't in Greenville, So it gets a little bit tough, but I know Cindy, we met because you were visiting your sister who was here at the time and you came to a dinner. So, we're open to ideas. We do want to do fun things with our clients, more value-added services. Okay. I want to share something with you. And even Gordon doesn't know this, but on September 13th, we have a renowned ECU professor, actually from the ECU Health. His name is Sam Sears. And Sam's a friend of mine, lives in my neighborhood. Sam really works with patients that have gone through heart issues. And if any of you have experienced this, family or friends, when you have a serious heart issue, okay, where you're almost at death's door, it's the mental aspect as much as the physical. And Sam has done extensive studies on how to treat people that have gone through major medical problems. But he's just fascinating. He literally during the summer, he's just traveling around the world giving presentations. And on September 13th at 7 p.m., we're going to do a webinar with Sam. And we're working on the presentation, but it's really going to be about mental health and, really how we were talking about media intake. We'll talk about some things we can do to really kind of, make our lives better but do it from a kind of a scientific background. So I'm just telling you, he's an entertainer. He's a highly skilled professional. You will truly enjoy this on September 13th. I think it's a Wednesday evening. So that's kind of the value added services that we want to add is bringing good content to help people, not just in their financial life, but just in life in general. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
And of
Dave. What's Dr. Sam's last name again?
Sears, Sears.
Thank you.
And I can email his information. He sent it to me the other day and I can forward it to you all. So, and Gordon will be preparing invitations to everyone. Of course, we'll probably go out in August sometime. So, all right. In January of this year, we sent an email to our clients and friends. We had contracted with Dave Ramsey. We paid a fee to offer a complimentary service to everyone that we know, and it's unlimited. And Robert's going to put the link into the chat. And I've talked to several of you about this. And, what's ironic is many of our clients, you're all doing the proper things when you talk about financial planning and budgeting and things like that. But you may have family, you may have children or even grandchildren that really are just getting started, and they would benefit from this Dave Ramsey website. It's a portal. You sign up for it. There's no charge. There's a class in there, online class. There's videos. There's apps like a budgeting app. So I would encourage you to click this link, share it. I think Jack, you and I talked about sharing it with your 3 sons. And it's a resource, kind of one of those value adds that we want to share with everyone. It's only good for the calendar year. So Robert, anything you would add to that?
No, I've been through it personally, and I know that it has a lot of great tips and tricks. I'd say, especially for people just getting started, and I don't think it's really an age thing. I think it's more of an experience thing. So I wouldn't be afraid to share it with people who maybe aren't even younger, but are just kind of need some basic foundational tips for finance.
Now, I don't know if you all know this. Robert's getting married in August. Has Kat done this lesson?
She has her family. They did it as a family growing up together. So it's also a nice family bonding thing.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm going to share this with Dylan and Jackson, my other son, this summer. We're going to do the online class together. So I really think it's a wonderful gift to share with people you care about. It doesn't hurt you to go in there and look at it and see if there's something you can use also. And again, it's only through this calendar year will it be available to you. So, all right. Before I wrap up here, are there any other topics or questions? Gordon, you're welcome to chime in if you think of something.
Nothing off the top of my head.
Yep. Gordon is our marketing guy. As I mentioned, he's down in Georgia and he works with a lot of financial advisors. He really kind of specializes in our industry. And so he's been assisting us for really probably about almost 3 years now, if not longer. Yep. And does an excellent job. Well, the last thing we want to share with everyone is recently the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, and again, that's our regulatory agency, allows advisors such as us to, have testimonials and reviews. Okay. So about about a month or two ago, we shared with some clients our Google reviews. And so and I'll let Robert pull it up as we're speaking here. But we would like, and now why is this important? Why is it important for us to have Google reviews or even any reviews? Well, if you think about it, not so much for you as a client, but if you were looking, maybe somebody said, hey, you need to go talk to Milestone Wealth. You need to go talk to Dave Hunt. Okay, well, the first thing most people do is they pull it up online. Okay. And so you can see here, we've had 12 reviews so far. Now I will say 11 of these are client reviews. All right. Every client gave us a 5-star. Now I won't go into great detail. Someone gave us 1 star, and that's the only reason we're not a perfect 5. And there's a backstory to this, and I'm not going to go into it. As a matter of fact, we're in communication with this person because we think they've done us wrong. But all our clients that have reviewed us have given us a 5. Now, if you're like, well, I'm going to give Dave a 3-star review or a 4-star review, I'd say, please call me first. Let's talk about it. But we want you to be true and honest always. But we would love to have 5-star reviews, obviously, because we think when people do research on us, they're going to look at this, and we think it's powerful. And we actually think the comments you leave are as powerful as the stars. So leave a comment, talk about your experience. We would appreciate that. And it's really for our future clients that are seeking us out. And I'm going to let Robert go ahead and kind of walk you through this process to do this.
Okay, so you would just go to Google, and I'll just start over from the beginning. So you just pull up Google. Just to get you from the very basics, you would just type in Milestone Wealth. It would pop up, and you would just go over to the right hand side, and you'll see this write a review. And if you click on it, it's going to ask you to sign into your Google account. I would just sign on to my Google account, and then you can leave a review. Or if you would like a way here, if you're on it now, I can send in the chat a link that would take you directly to it.
Now, does that require a Google account?
It does. If you do not have a Google account, it is not going to let you give us a review. But if you do have one, it's all you have to do is put in your username, password, and then you can leave a review.
Yep. And of course, if you have a Gmail account, you have a Google account. And Gordon, anything you would add to that?
No, like you said, it's just really important as folks are looking for a professional in and around the area. Relevant recent reviews are really important to have Milestone Wealth show up in the search engine results, and primarily on that map that you often see in Google search engine results. This is one of the #1 ways that really helps out the business.
Yeah. And of course, most new clients that come to us are from word of mouth, introductions from people like you. But again, this is kind of a reinforcement to, people that maybe were referred to us. They want to review, check out the website, get to know who we are and what we do. And so it just kind of that reinforcement that, hey, yeah, these are people, they've been around a while, they know what they're doing, and people like what they're doing. So we appreciate that. All right. Well, I know we're a small group here, but as I said, we're going to put this online, and I imagine we're going to plenty of people taking a look at it. So I appreciate all your time, and I hope this has been fun, entertaining, and informative. And if you have any follow-up questions, just shoot me an email, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Robert.